I'm going to teach you a technique now which we sometimes call piggybacking. It's another way of building up the number of people that you're following, and to make sure that those people are more or less in the area that you're interested in. And the way to do this is we're going to go to find people, and what we're going to do is we're going to search for somebody who we know is famous in the area that we're working in, someone who's well known in that particular area. So for example, I'm interested in English language teaching and technology, and I know, for example, that say Scott Thornbury, who was my tutor, is a very well-known writer of ELT books, and it's very likely that the people that are following Scott Thornbury are going to be interested in language teaching and perhaps in technology, but certainly in ELT and EFL and the area that I'm interested in. So I'm just going to search for Thornbury, see if I can find him, and there he is. Now I'm going to click on Scott Thornbury and I get his profile here, and he's got 2,118 people following him. What I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to click and look at all his followers, and there they are. I can see them now on the left hand side, and what I'm going to do is I can start to go through and look at his followers, and some of them are already following anyway because they're probably following me, but there are going to be people here that I can add to my list. So for example, this person here, who obviously is into ELT, and I can click through and I can click on and add these. Now I'm going to be careful about who I follow, so I'm just going to go through and make sure that I have a quick read of their profile first, and then if they look interesting I can add them to my list. So obviously the ones that have got profiles written are going to be the best. As I come down here and you can see, for example, English teacher, so that looks good, writer and editor, and an editor, so he's probably into language teaching, so yes. This one here, ELT tutor, yes. And I can add these people and follow different people. Obviously the people that I'm looking out particularly for are people that are involved in language teaching, particularly EFL, etc. And this is a technique which we call piggybacking, where we are using the list of another person to find new people to follow. And in this case, because there's such a crossover between Scott and myself, a lot of the times I'm already following the people that are following him as well, so because obviously we're all linked to ELT. But there are going to be lots of people that are following him who I don't know about, and I can add them to my list, and hopefully they might have a look at my profile and then follow me back. So this way I can build up my following and increase the number of people that are following me. So it's a useful technique. It's called piggybacking, and it's actually the way that I started. I used this technique to build up very quickly the number of people that I follow. And as I said, it's a good idea at the beginning to build up a good number of people, and that way some of them will follow you back, and slowly you will have more and more people to send out to. As you can see, I can keep going on and on and on. So I can build up, using this technique of what we call piggybacking, we can build up the numbers of people that we're following. And I could go on all the time here, adding anyone who I think looks interested, who's based around the area of ELT, etc., etc. Whether or not these people are prolific tweeters is another thing, and we'll come to that. But what I'm just basically trying to do is build up my core number of people and make sure that the people that I follow are related to my area, and using the piggyback method is a really good way of doing that. So that's called piggybacking.